Sometimes the bravest thing you'll ever do isn't surviving the hard stuff. It's giving yourself permission to start all over again after it. And sometimes you have to do that more than once. There may be even a stretch of years where all you carry is a backpack because life seems so unstable. Even if you aren't physically starting from square one, there are plenty of times when I myself have started in a new place mentally. I call these my mini deaths, moments where one version of me ended and a new one was born. I was still me, just different. I'm Jess Faulkner, and this is Just Jess. This is episode 26, Permission to Start Over. Before we dive into today's episode, let's get into some updates. My book, Reborn from the Ashes, is officially in proofing stages, and it's so close I can taste it. I'm working on final touches, adding a few new chapters, and making sure it feels real, raw, and finished in the way it deserves. After the updates are approved, the book and Kindle, paperback, and hardback version will be available on Amazon. I might even see if I can start selling them locally at the bookstore here. I just got news about my ferritin levels, and right now they're critically low. Basically, I have 0 iron stores left in my bone marrow. It explains the exhaustion, the brain fog, the constant battle to just exist some days, but I'm working with my doctors to figure out the next steps. I am also working my ass off to build collabs with local businesses here. Big things are brewing. I'm looking for local businesses I can drop a little shout out to on the podcast in exchange of them supporting my podcast. Maybe handing out a few business cards here, listening to the podcast there, and I'll make sure to show up for them and make them a little ad. And guess what? New merch is live and it's already selling. Thank you for showing up for me the way you always do. It means everything. Honestly, I'm tired. I've been manic for a while now. I haven't been able to sleep much. I keep trying to go out and have fun even when no one wants to go with me, and honestly, I'm too damn tired to be going out anyways. But I'm excited about the book. I'm excited about the potential collabs. Mentally, I'm laser focused on work right now. I've been sitting at this desk all day trying to build this empire, and I know it's worth it. Even when I'm exhausted, especially then. Time for some noteworthy news. I don't know if you've heard of this little thing, but it's called the Great American Campout. The Great American Campout is coming up on June 22nd, 2025, and honestly, it might be exactly what a lot of us need right now. The Great American Campout is a national movement encouraging families, friends, and communities to reconnect with the outdoors, even if it's just for a night. You don't have to be a hardcore hiker. You don't need fancy gear. You don't even have to go far. You could pitch a tent in your backyard. You could build a blanket for it inside of your house. You can spread out a sleeping bag under the stars at a local park. You can just step outside and breathe for a minute longer than you usually do. It doesn't matter. It's about slowing down. It's about unplugging from screens, from news, from pressure, and remembering that the world is still beautiful, that the sky is still huge and waiting for you. Nature has always been one of the most powerful free healers we have. It reminds you that, yes, you are small. Yes, but not insignificant. You belong here under these stars on this earth. So if you can, take some time this June. Go outside. Find a patch of grass or a quiet tree. Breathe like you mean it. You deserve peace. You deserve to feel rooted in something bigger than your problems. You deserve a night under the stars, messy, imperfect, human, and holy. Let's get into the episode. Starting over isn't failure, it's survival. And if you're anything like me, you've probably had to start over more times than you can count. Many deaths. Moments where everything I thought I was fell apart, and I got to rebuild myself from scratch. Not because I wanted to, but because I had to. Today, I want to walk you through some of my many deaths and why I now believe that starting over is one of the most powerful things you'll ever do for yourself. Time for a deep dive into some many deaths. So here are a few of my highlighted career mini deaths in order, okay? So one of my favorites, of course, was I was a bounty hunter once. Some pillhead I knew was doing it and making good money. I was training MMA at the time, and I felt confident in my strength and my abilities. He told me I couldn't do it, but I figured if a loser like him could do it, then I damn sure could do it too. And I did. At 19 years old, slipping on my bounty shirt, a bulletproof vest, sliding 2 9mm handguns into their holsters, loading a Mossberg shotgun with non-lethal beanbag rounds. I felt like the biggest badass there was. I was a model. I remember when a photographer shooting for a Hooters calendar came up to me and asked if I modeled. And I told him no, I was just there eating. But he said he wanted to shoot me. After that, I became a spokesmodel, a pinup model, a rockabilly model, a cannabis model, and a barber babe. It was a hard mask to wear, though. Getting glammed up for the camera while behind the scenes people told me I amounted to nothing. There was that time I lied and told people I was blonde from California when I wasn't. High school. I went to middle school with the same pricks I went to high school with, but they didn't get to watch my glow up. By 11th grade, I was tan, blonde, tall, and hot as hell, with a I don't give a fuck attitude to match. Eat your heart out, Blake fucking Smith. I was a cannagirl, and a damn good one. My job? Advertise weed for dispensaries, strains, bongs, pipes, whatever they needed a hot girl and a joint. Dress cute, look cute, smoke cute. I loved it. God, I miss Colorado. Then I was a good girl when I married Josh. That was the easiest death I ever had. When I finally felt safe with Josh, I got to drop the mask. I learned and I yearned to be good for him. Not because he asked me to be, but because I wanted to be someone he could be proud of. He doesn't drink much at all. He doesn't curse at all. He's straight and narrow when it comes to his morals, and I've tried to keep that piece of goodness in me through every version I've become since. Just for him. Just for us. I shifted through so many sexual orientations and gender identities trying to figure out that one that finally felt like mine. Look, if you ask me right now, I'm pansexual, but if something tragic ever happened to Josh, hell no, I'd be a full lesbian after that. Let's see, I left Dick and became a sexual superwoman in my own right. I found out not only could people love me, they could love me better. Much better. I realized I was wanted by every walk of life, like I had some kind of witchy magic just by showing up with confidence and a damn good heart. Spoiler alert, Dick. It wasn't you. It was always me. I was homeless Jess, fighting to survive on the floor of an empty apartment, a machete under my pillow. Shelter to shelter, under a bridge at the park, too scared to sleep, hiding out in a bus station that stayed open all night, locked inside a gas station restroom. I survived it all. I have left friendships that felt permanent, like the end of Jen and me. She was like my sister. Her betrayal broke something deep inside me, and even now, honesty still escapes her. Each time, a death. Each time, a rebirth. Starting over isn't always stepping forward or backward. Sometimes it's a sidestep onto a completely different road that looks nothing like the one you left behind. And sometimes you don't even realize you're starting over until you're already halfway into your new life. Here's some statistics about starting over. In regards to career changes, the average person changes careers 5 to 7 times during their working life. Millennials are projected to have 15 to 20 different jobs over their lifetime. Translation, reinvention isn't rare, it's normal. In regards to moving and relocating, the average American moves 11.7 times in their lifetime, and 60% of moves are made for a fresh start, whether personal growth, better jobs, or healing from trauma. Translation, physical starting over is super common, not weird for people who need new spaces to grow. In regards to divorce and relationship changes, about 40 to 50% of marriages in the U.S. end in divorce. Second marriages have a 60 to 67% divorce rate, meaning that trying again is hard, but people keep doing it because hope matters. Translation, love after loss is risky, and people still choose it. In regards to mental health and personal growth, over 70% of people who survive major trauma, like loss, abuse, or illness, report some form of post-traumatic growth, meaning they found new meaning, new strength, or new identity after the pain. Translation, starting over after trauma isn't just possible. It's common and powerful. Statistically, starting over isn't the exception. It's the rule. Most of us will change careers, cities, relationships, and even identities multiple times before we're done. Survival is messy, reinvention is normal, and growth is brave as hell. Society loves neat success stories, neat timelines, linear progress. But life isn't neat. It's messy as hell. Sometimes healing means burning it all down. Sometimes it means losing everything you thought you wanted so you can finally figure out what you actually need. You are allowed to start over as many times as it takes. There's no limit. Some practical advice. Give yourself permission. You don't need permission from anyone else. Starting over doesn't have to be dramatic. It can be as small as a new morning routine or as big as a walking away from a marriage. Guilt and fear will scream at you, but they don't get to drive the car, babe. You do. Outgrowing old dreams isn't betrayal. It's survival. Grieve what you're leaving behind. Starting over doesn't mean pretending it didn't hurt. Say goodbye to the dream, the place, the person, even if it wasn't good for you. Grieve it fully so you don't drag that ghost and that shit into your next life. Let it be messy. Starting over is not a glow-up montage with perfect lighting. It's ugly cries, backslides, small wins, and quiet mornings where you doubt yourself. Let it be messy. That's where real growth lives. Start stupid small. One tiny win, one habit, one promise to yourself. You don't rebuild your whole life in one day. You stack bricks, even if they're crooked at first. Cut loose the guilt. You are not selfish for choosing yourself. You are not a failure for outgrowing a life that no longer fits. Repeat after me, babe. Guilt is not an instruction manual. It is a weight I'm allowed to set down. Okay, thank you. Protect your energy. Not everyone deserves access to your new life. You can start over quietly. You don't owe anyone a front row seat to your healing. But you gotta remember to stay soft, even when it's hard. Life will harden you if you let it. Stay soft anyway. Cry, love, try again. Strength isn't about building walls. It's about surviving with your heart still intact. Remember, you're allowed to start over as many times as you need. You're not a failure. You are a survivor. And every version of you that lived and died along the way was sacred. You get to begin again as many times as it takes. Here's a little something I wrote for anyone standing at the edge of a new beginning. It's called Just a Blow. Just a blow, like blowing out a candle. That's all it takes for me to shift. Just some drama, a rough situation. That's all I need to restart. The death comes quickly, sometimes painless and effortless, sometimes in screams and anguish. But then I rise, usually quickly, moving fiercely. From the ashes, I am reborn into whatever shape I choose, whatever face I want. I am the shapeshifter, and nature made me. Sneak peek at next week. Okay, sneak peek at next week. Mental health meds and mayhem. Side effects, withdrawals, pills you can't pronounce, doctors who don't listen. It's ugly, it's hilarious, it's survival. Welcome to the merry-go-round. Hold on to your brain. You're in for a fucking ride. You are allowed to choose yourself. You are allowed to change your mind. You are allowed to start over as many times as it takes. Thank you for being here with me today. I'm proud of you. Talk to you all next week. Love each other. Love yourselves. I love you. Okay, listeners, I have some helpful resources. If you're looking for some resources for post-traumatic growth research, you can find that at www.apa.org. Starting over in career changes, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics Career Changes, www.bls.gov. Mental Health Help, NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, which is resources for navigating mental health and life changes. That's NAMI.org. If you're looking for some inspiration on reinvention, you can check out Pew Research, Reinvention and Life Changes, studies on how people adapt and grow after major life events. Pew, P-E-W, research.org. Information for this podcast was provided by the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the U.S. Census Bureau 2022, American Psychological Association, National Center for PTSD, and Pew Research Center. Love you.